good, 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 good. Lower, lower, lower. All right, let's go. Okay, are we good? Are we on? Are we YouTubing? That's YouTube? Okay, well that was good, you held my hand there, but that's because you're a big strapping fella.
That's what I do. Look out.
Alright, cool. We are live on all mediums, everyone. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. Woo! We're live on the moon.
Love it.
We're live in the South Bay. We're living the life. Sorry, couldn't resist. Alright, so we will cheers. That looks like a very strong latte you've got there. Okay, good. 2 shots.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Tasty.
I needed that. So, welcome to another episode of Lattes with Lorimer. Nick Williams is our special guest today.
Hello, everyone.
He is well, first of all, let's get this not out of the way because it's really important and it's a massive moment. Big round of applause for Nick and his wife and baby Cameron, who is only 3.5 weeks old.
Yep.
The bags here show it.
Yeah, I'm not hungover, I'm just exhausted.
Is Mum watching?
Probably.
Hi.
My wife. Hi, Cam.
Are we having technical problems? We're good. Alright, so Nick, if you go on his Facebook post, you'll see, we were just talking about this earlier, every single picture he has, he's like the Renaissance man, right? You're kind of like the guy that I want to be.
I'm okay with that. I want to be you, so this is perfect.
He's really good at golf, right? You're like kind of the antithesis of me, in a way.
Ooh.
But in a cool way, like we're brothers, but I'm like rock and roll, and you're like golf and cigars and
Perfect.
And bourbon, I guess.
Yeah, tequila, bourbon,
Anything?
IPAs, you name it.
And an avid golfer.
Very.
Okay.
Love it.
All right. Well, we'll come back to that in a minute. So Nick, how long have you been with us now?
6 months.
6 months, and
take.
already deals under the belt.
Mm-hmm.
You came here from another industry.
Correct.
And Nick is part of the trio of agents known as the South Bay Cartel,
Yep.
servicing, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, the whole of LA as well.
Yeah.
So today is much more about you than it is about. We're going to talk about real estate too.
Okay.
But let's talk about, how did you find your way into LA? How did you meet your lovely wife? Because she is way above your station, my brother.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So how long have you been in LA? Where are you from?
I'm originally from Indiana, really small town of about 7,000 people. I grew up in the cornfields. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. So,
What brought you to LA?
everything. I mean, that's like the $1 million question I never really have a good answer to.
Yeah.
But it was just ready to take a risk. At the end of the day, I studied business and sales at Purdue. And my favorite professor, his name was Professor Trotter, and he's just a beast mode businessman. Traveled all over the world and had so many great stories for us while you're 20, 19, 21 years old. And the greatest lesson at Purdue was you have to take a risk in life.
Right.
You just have to.
Right.
And I graduated from Purdue, went and lived in Chicago. That move is 2 hours away from Purdue, and kind of everybody does it. It's either you kind of go one direction, and I was just ready. There was nothing particular about LA, but you see the sun, you see the babes, you see the weather, the money, the cars. I mean, it's got the beach, it's everything.
Yeah.
And I literally just packed up 2 bags, and I sold everything I had for, it was probably $500. I didn't know a soul, and I bought a one-way ticket. And that was 10 years ago in October.
Wow.
So, I'm never going back. Sorry, Dad.
And your mum and dad are still in Indiana?
My mom's in Arizona now. She actually started visiting, and she's, what am I doing here? It's freezing. So, and now she's out west too, so it's kind of nice.
Cool.
Dad's still back home though.
And you met your lovely wife here. What's your wife's name again?
Caroline.
Caroline. You met Caroline here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, of all the places, I mean, listen, I know why you are drawn to where you live, but LA's a big, vast, multicultural city.
It is.
Why did you pick Hermosa Beach?
Well, when I moved here originally, I was calling people off Craigslist. So it was 10 years ago, and I started in Silver Lake. So it was 2 months there. I did a little sublet. It was a crazy situation where I was just renting this girl's room, and pretty nuts.
Silver Lake is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and then I ended up going to like West Hollywood,
Yeah.
over on Fairfax, and I was there for like 6 months. And then I just started kind of bouncing around, meeting people, a lot of bars, a lot of crazy times, and started meeting people in Hermosa, and it was just more my vibe. I loved the cleanliness. There's a lot of athletes down there. It's just a perfect community that was for me. It's a little slower, but if you want to drive 30 minutes to 45 minutes, you can come here and get in the hustle and bustle.
What time of day is that then?
Yeah, well, never, but I just loved it there, and I think I'll probably be there forever. I really do.
It's a beautiful spot. It really is a beautiful spot, and I think Hermosa has a different flavour to all the other beach cities.
For sure. It's just a clean place. It's just a great place to live, and it's young, and it's just a good young professionals community, and that's just
So,
can't find it anywhere else.
where did your... Because I secretly one day would love to learn golf. In fact, maybe what we should do is we should go out, you should... Although the last thing you want to hear is, can you teach me golf? Right? Because it's a game that's already 4 hours.
Yeah.
And when you're with a loser like me...
Start small.
Maybe a par
Driving
three.
range, putt, got to get the fundamentals down.
So how did... are there lots of golf courses in Indiana? Where did you get this love of golf?
There are. My grandparents, for sure. My grandma and grandpa were both really good. And then my mom was the MVP at Indiana State back in the 70s when Larry Bird was there, which is so very cool. And my uncle was D1, so it's in our family, and it's just been a sport that I played probably since I was 5 or 6 years old.
Interesting.
Obsessed with it.
Interesting. Well, I wish... one day.
We'll get you out there.
I mean, the woman in there, you can't see her on camera here, but the woman in there, if I have 40 minutes away from work, she has my guts for garters.
Let's do a par 3 and sneak in 90 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to do that at 5 a.m.
Perfect.
Okay, so you come to LA 10 years ago, you've been in real estate for 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
What happened before that period? And just for everybody out there, Nick is one of those rare agents that when you meet him, he just has this presence about him. You feel good. You've got this confidence that you know what's going on, and I know you worked really, really hard to get your clients. And so let's talk about what led you into real estate. How did you find your way into real estate?
It's kind of a culmination of a lot of things. A long-term plan. So my grandpa was in real estate when I was really young. He was from a very small town, but it was someone I always looked up to. Then I went to Purdue and then kind of studied the business and the sales aspect of it, and then jumped in the corporate world just because I think that's kind of the normal plan for what you do there in a small town in Indiana, and bounced around 4 or 5 different Fortune 500 corporations and went through a bunch of sales trainings and just kind of found myself always wanting something else, never really just getting that self-fulfillment that my generation really tries to find.
Yeah.
So the corporate world was always just okay. I was successful in it, emotions and whatever.
Where did you work? Which companies did you work at?
Time Warner, Travel Zoo, a small company called FSO, and the Han Company. So all different types of products, services, sales types, you name it. So the good thing is it gave me a good foundation of just business skills, relationship building, just sales knowledge, when to ask questions, when not to ask questions, etc. So that really gave me a foundation to take a leap. And when I mentioned a little while ago is, the biggest risk in life is never taking one. I was comfortable in corporate world. It was not challenging. It was just kind of you go to work, you deal with traffic, and then you go home and you live for the weekends. And I got comfortable and I was ready to take a risk.
So for those people out there that are kind of in a corporate job and they've been thinking about potentially getting into, not necessarily real estate, but a different career, how do you cross the threshold? And this is something that I have done a lot just because I think I'm unemployable. But how do you cross the threshold of, well, I'm comfy right now, I can keep trundling on like this for the next 2 decades, into something that's more entrepreneurial where you only eat what you kill? I mean, how do you get to that point?
For me, it was a lot of things. I mean, I have friends that work here. I have a lot of guys that I play basketball with every Thursday that they're very successful agents, so I kind of see their lifestyle and what they're able to do. I hate to admit it, but I read Josh Altman's book, and it was It was phenomenal, and he was a really big proponent on just trusting your gut. And that little piece of me was always in there. It really was, and it was just time to take a risk, and had a little bit of money saved up, and I started going to the classes. I actually went to school just because I wanted to really get into it.
I did too.
A lot of people wing it, and I did not want to do that. I wanted to be as knowledgeable as possible when I got here, and I was obsessed with the classes, and I hated school back in the day. So that's when I knew the light bulb clicked on that this is really something. This is the right direction. I'm doing this.
Well, you jumped in with 2 boots, and the thing I like about you, Nick, is you're always you're always the same. You're always. He's actually toning it down a bit for the cameras, but Nick is. He's a big presence, right? He's a tall guy, right?
Yeah.
He's a tall guy, and he comes in with cracking these one-liners, and I think you're being polite on camera today. You normally have a little bit. You normally have a dirty joke or two.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But you seem to have you've taken to it like a duck to water. So let's talk about the future.
Yeah.
What do you see? Let's talk about personal. Next 5 years, another child?
Yeah.
And places that you... I think I just said Caroline. Faint.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. So, but let's get through one first. My God. Yeah, for sure.
And then, listen, I always like to ask this question. Places on the planet that you haven't been that you want to go?
Australia. Big time.
Interesting.
My wife and I are... I'm a big ocean guy. I love tropical places. You know, when you grow up in the cornfields, those things you see on TV just don't seem real. And all these tropical areas, and just they're so amazing. I'm a huge guy, big fan of the ocean, snorkeling and scuba diving, and I've always wanted to go to the Great Barrier Reef.
Do you scuba?
Yeah.
You passed the test?
No, I've done it illegally a few times.
Okay, jolly good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm actually going to be getting my test this year.
Well, we can do that together too.
Do you want to do it together?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, let's do it together.
Cool.
All right. So I'm going to be doing it up in Northern California, but if you're in, you're in.
Yeah, I would love to.
No, somewhere in the valley in the swimming pool. But I want to get my test because it's a big year for me. I'm going to be 30.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the Maldives for my 30th birthday.
Yeah, our son's middle name is Kai, and it's Hawaiian for ocean. So it's
wow!
a big passion of mine.
You know, it's Thai for chicken.
Beautiful, I love chicken.
Yeah, Kai means chicken in Thai.
No, I'm okay with that.
Chicken of the ocean?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, alright, so where are we going? Alright, we're going to do our scuba diving together. Now let's talk professionally. Well, where do you see yourself? And I already know with this guy, you are going to be, I'm going to end up working for you and Janelle at some point.
My sister from another mister?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourselves? Just yourself.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years professionally?
I want to be a predominant name in the South Bay. Right now there's 3 or 4 that really dominate my market, and they've been there for 20, 25 years. So right now I'm just clearly just being patient and really trusting the process that I think you and our #1 agent, Andrew Diskey, has really laid out. That's kind of what I'm going through. So just going through the motions, but in 5 years, just be a recognizable, knowledgeable, impactful, valuable agent that anybody can call at any time, and go from there.
Cool.
So 5 years for sure.
Well, you know, we will help you take out the big names.
I know you will. That's why I'm here.
Ski mask, baseball bat.
Bye. I'm coming for you.
All right, cool. So if people want to get hold of you, Nick, where can they find you? What are your handles?
Agent_Willie, and then HB for Hermosa Beach, 2_Willie as well. So personal and business. NickWilliamsRE.com. It's a little under construction, so go there in a week. That's really about it.
All right, cool. And you can always find Nick on the PLG site.
You bet.
Congratulations again, Caroline,
Cameron,
and you. Nick Williams, a big man, a big influence, a big guy. Big love, brother, big love. We stand up and we hug now. See how big he is? He's a big fella. All right, well, we'll see you again next week on Lattes with Lorimer. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday with another guest. And until then, we will see you later. Adios.
Peace.